Now let us see some previous year questions on multiplication. A shopkeeper sold 85 fans in a month. If the cost of one fan is 480, then how much amount of money did he earn in that month? So shopkeeper sold 85 fans in a month. So if the cost of one fan is 480, then how much amount of money did he earn in the month? Right. Now the cost of one fan is 480 and he sold 85 fans in that month. So what is the amount that he earned? So here we don't have to use this. This was just for your information if we had to multiply it with month. So cost of one fan is 480, or what is the cost of 85 fan? So we simply multiply 480 with 85, right? So we'll multiply 480 with 85. So again, making sure the digits are aligned, unit with unit, tens with tens. Then start the multiplication process. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 eights are 40. So again, write the 0. And then carry will be 4. 5 fours are 20. 20 plus 4 is 24. Right? And then reserve a place for the units digit. Start multiplication with the tens digit. So 8 zeros are 0. 8 eights are 64. So we'll write 4. Carry will be 6. Right? And 8 fours are 32. 32 plus 6 gives us 38. Now we'll add both of these numbers. So 0, 0, 8, and 8 plus 2 is 10. So we'll regroup 1 as a carry. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So 40800 is the answer. Okay. Anju plants 24 saplings in each of the 16 rows. How many saplings did Anju plant? So suppose Anju has a farm like this, right? And this farm, she divided it into 24 rows like this. So this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth row, and so on, right? So in the first row, she planted 24 saplings. Second row, she planted 24 saplings, right? So the same process she followed for each of these rows. So this looks like repeated addition, right? So what we'll do for the 16 rows, we'll just have to multiply 24 with 16, right? So see, this is less than 20. So, I mean, if you remember the table for 16, this becomes easier for us to solve. But we'll do it by both the approaches. So 6 fours are 24, carry is 2. So 6 twos are 12 plus 2 becomes 14. So 144. And then reserve a place for the units digit. 1 fours are 4, 1 twos are 2. So 4 comes down, 4 plus 4 is 8, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So 384 is the answer. If we do by the other approach, we can get it more quickly. So 24 and 16, right? Consider 16 as a single unit and multiply first with 4 and then with 2. So 16 fours are 64, carry is 6, 16 twos are 32, 32 plus 6 gives us 38. So see how quickly we have arrived at the answer. Moving on to the next question. 950 nuts are manufactured in a factory every day. How many nuts can be manufactured in 60 days? So again, repeated addition. First day will be able to manufacture 950 nuts. Second day 950 plus 950. Third day 950 plus 950 plus 950. So repeated addition. So we apply multiplication. So in 60 days, we'll be able to manufacture 950 times 60 nuts. So we have to multiply these two digits. So 950 and then 60. Again, there is a trick involved here. So first of all, we'll see the conventional approach. Then we'll move on to the trick. So 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. And 0 times 9 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. So 3 is carried over. 6 times 9 is 54. So 57. Right, here itself you can find the answer. So the answer must contain 57. So you can see only one of the options is having 57. So then if you add 0, 0, 0, 7, 5, so we get 57,000. as the answer, which is A. Right. What is the other way to solve this? So whenever you have digits with zeros, right, we don't have to actually multiply them. So this is 950 and this is 60. So remove the zeros. So just write them as 95 times 6. So how many zeros have we removed? 2. So remember, whatever answer you get, we'll just have to add 2 zeros. Now if I just multiply 95 and 6. So 6 fives are 30, carries 3, 6 nines are 54, plus 3, 57. So 570, and we remember that we have to place 2 zeros at the end because we removed it initially. So we just add these 2 zeros. So whenever we have 0 in any number, we don't have to multiply them or take them in the standard product. We can just remove it and then add that later on. For example, 20 times 30. If we use the same approach, what we'll do, we'll just multiply 2 with 3, right? So 2 times 3, and then the answer will have 2 additional zeros. So 2 times 3 gives us 6, 0, 0. If we add that 0, 0, we'll get 600, right? So again, this is a trick that we can use to solve multiplication very quickly. Another question, a factory manufactures 250 cars every day. How many cars does the factory manufacture in 5 weeks? Again, repeated addition, but we have to do some manipulation here. So 250 cars every day. So the factory manufactures 250 cars every day. So we have to find the number of cars that the factory manufactures in 5 weeks. So first of all, we can convert the weeks to days because we are given it is manufacturing 250 cars each day. So this must be in days and not in weeks. If I multiply this with this would give us incorrect result. And you can see we have one of the options as the answer, which they have given intentionally so that we directly multiply and get the answer and then tick this. So this is incorrect. Because if you multiply 250 with 5, you will get 1250. Okay. So because it is given the factory manufactures 250 cars every day. So you have to find the number of cars in how many days, right? So you have to ask this question. So 5 weeks, so you know 1 week is 7 days, right? So 5 weeks will be equal to 7 multiplied by 5. So this is the unitary method. We know what 1 unit is. We have to find what 5 units of that is equal to, which is equal to 35. So this is the first step. First we converted weeks to days. Then we can just do multiplication to get the answer. So 250 times 35. Again we have a 0, so we could have eliminated it and then added it at the final answer. So we'll first solve using conventional approach. So 5 zeros are 0, 5 fives are 25, and then 2 is carried over, and 5 twos are 10 plus 2 is 12. So 1250, and then reserve a digit. So 3 zeros are 0, 3 fives are 15, 1 is carried over, and 3 twos are 6 plus 1 is 7. Right, so 0 comes down, 5 is here, 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 plus 1 is 8. So 8750. Right, so D is the answer. What could have been other way? What we could do is we could just do 25 times 35. Right, and then whatever answer we get, we just have to add 1 0 because it was 250 and not 25. So if you multiply these two, you can check, we'll get 875. Right, so we just have to add a 0 to 875, we'll get 8750. Okay. Payal bought 12 boxes of cold drinks for a party. There were 19 cans in each box. How many cans of cold drinks did she buy? So there are 12 boxes, right? And each box has 19 cans. So one box, the first box has 19 cans, second box has another 19 cans, third box has 19 cans. Again, repeated addition. So 19 times 12, right? So see, this is a question wherein the unit digit trick that we studied comes in handy. So I mean, just tell me the unit digit for this. We just have to multiply 2 with 9. So we'll get 18. right? So 8 will be the unit digit of the answer. No matter what the answer is, 8 will be the unit digit using the trick that we discussed. And we can see out of the options, this is the only option that have 8 in the units digit. So this automatically becomes the answer. So we'll be able to solve such questions in less than 5 seconds. Okay. So 2 nines are 18, carry is 1, 2 ones are 2, plus 1 is 3, right? One digit reserved. So 1 nines are 9, and then 1 ones are 1. So 8, 9 plus 3 is 12, and 1 was carried over. So 1 plus 1 is 2, right? Another way that we discussed, 19 times 12. So 12 is less than 20, and if you remember the table for 12, we can solve it quickly. So 12 nines are 108. So I'll just write that 8 here, and then 10 will be carried over. 12 ones are 12, and plus 10. So 12 plus 10 is 22. So 228. Okay. A television set costs 13 times as much as the cost of given piano keyboard. Find the cost of the television set. Right. So you are given the cost of the piano keyboard, which is 576. You are also given that the cost of television set is 13 times more than this. So it is given 13 times. Right. So 13 times this. Right. Not more than this. Sorry. So it is 13 times this. So you just have to, so when it says 13 times more than, so then it becomes a different problem. We'll discuss that later. If it says, uh, I mean, the cost of a pen is 5 rupees and the cost of a book is 2 times the cost of that pen. So the cost of the book will be 2 times 5, which is 10, right? So cost of a pen is 5 rupees. Cost of a book is 2 times pen, right? Or 2 times the cost of pen. So cost of book becomes 2 times 5 is equal to 10, right? So what we do is, to find the cost, we basically multiply it with whatever time it is given, right? Whatever the multiplier is given. Again, if you check the unit digit, so you'll get 3 6 are 18, so 8 will be the unit digit. So you can safely eliminate this and this. Now you are only left with two options. So either 4788 or 7488, right? So, I mean, there is one more way to quickly guess. So what you can do is, because these are very far apart, 4788 and 7488, right? So they are very far apart. So what we'll do, the cost of this is 576. So this is close to 600, right? So that is where rounding off becomes useful. So you round this off to the nearest 100, you get 600. So it is approximately 600. And the television set costs 13 times this. So again, we have discussed the trick. So 13 times 600. What is 13 times 600? We'll just do 13 times 6, which is 78. And then add the two zeros which we have removed. So 7,800. And which of the option among these two looks closer to 7,800? This one. This is very far away or very small. So this will become the answer. So see, we have not even multiplied the question yet, right? The numbers that was given in the question, and we arrived at the answer. So such type of trick we need to repeatedly apply to any question that we get. It is not about the question that is very easy. It is about the time that you save for each of the questions. Okay. So 3 6 are 18, carries 1, 3 7s are 21, plus 1 is 22. Again carries 2. So 3 5s are 15, plus 2 17. Then reserve a place for the unit digit. So 1 6 are 6, 1 7s are 7, and 1 5s are 5. 8 comes down, 6 plus 2 is 8, 7 plus 7 is 14, carry goes 1, 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So 7488 is the answer. Another way, I mean, you can try this, just treat this as a single unit and then multiply and then see if you are getting the same answer or not. Okay, try doing this on your own. So, I mean, this was all the question that we had on multiplication. In the next class, what we'll do, we'll start with division. We'll look at some examples of division. And then again, we'll jump into previous year questions on division and then see what shortcut tricks there are for division. Again, there is a very unique or a very common source of confusion that students face in while dividing, that is where to place zero, where do I need to place zero or not. So that is something that we are going to discuss as well. Okay, fine then.